Hello again. I hope that everybody had a really good time learning in Module 1 about ethics and cultivating communications and donor relationships and case for support and all those other things that you learned about. I also hope that you're getting into the swing of the course and the way that the modules work and the way that things are broken down, and we're sort of in the fun part now. We're really moving. So this next module, Module 2, will deal with one of the three main areas of fundraising that we covered in this course. So one is donor relationships. That's what we'll be talking about and focusing on now. The next will be special events, and then the last will be grant writing. So this one, covering donors, is a huge and important piece of the giving pie, and actually the largest piece of the giving pie in the last forever. It really has always been the largest piece of the giving pie. That doesn't mean that it is the largest piece of the giving pie in your organization. You may work for an organization that receives a lot of public funds. You may work for a smaller organization, which sometimes tend to be largely grant funded or like zero grant funded, depending on the way that it's structured. But overall, nationally, individual donor funds are the largest piece of the giving tree. And really, the reason why they're so valuable to organizations is that they usually don't come with strings attached. Now, of course, a donor can always specify where he or she would like the money to go, what they would like the money to go to a specific program, or they could say they don't want it to be used for something. But generally, donors don't do that, and often funders do. So donors can be a really great asset. They also help to build a family for the organization and resources around the organization. So they're not just great for giving money, but they can also become volunteers and have other intangible benefits as well. So one of the strategic elements of the donor relationship is what we call the ask. How do you ask people for money? And in this module, we'll go back to what we talked about donor communications and the case for support, and we'll dig in a little bit deeper, and we'll start to really look at how do you reach out to donors. Do you use phone-a-thon kind of scripts, or do you do email, mail asks? There are so many different ways that we can appeal to individual donors. Down the road, we'll talk about special events, which offer another way to appeal to individual donors. So in this section of the course, we'll be dealing with three elements of the donor relationship. Number one is the ask, which can be really uncomfortable, and it can often be something that you have to work with your board members and other people in your organization to really build up the courage to do. Sometimes, especially the face-to-face ask and talking to somebody about money can be really, really hard. It's also where the passion shows, your passion for your mission, and it's the easiest way to get people really excited. If you're excited, people just feel it. It just happens. Believe me, it really works. And then the next part we'll be dealing with in this module is analyzing donors, knowing what their interests are, what type of donor they are, why they give, and really how to get them the most involved in your organization, both in terms of money and in terms of what they care about and what they might be interested in volunteering to do, or giving you professional services, or whatever else your organization might need. And then the last thing that we're going to do is focus on writing an appealing message to a donor. Finding a way to we're going to draw from our previous communications in this course, and we will start to really build an appealing message for your donors. So in this section, we're going to focus on raising $50,000 for Community Kitchen, according to the development plan, which states you want to raise this $50,000 from donors. And what we're going to do is three main things. One is sharing what you learn about the ask with your fund development committee, and asking them to identify potential donors and address their concerns about the ask, as we noted before. That can be the toughest part. Next, we're going to analyze donors by making a treasure map that will show, identify the abundant resources in your donor pool and in your community, and the various connections and motivations and self-interests of each of those connections. And then finally, we'll write an appealing message. Wow, you have the case for support in place, but we really need just like a brief message. The case for support is a long document or a longer document. Sometimes you need a snapshot appeal in an email or a quick letter. And so you're going to write an email that creates a fundraising appeal for the summer community garden project. So if you have any questions, if you need to get a hold of me, of course, you can always email me. I will continue to engage you as much as I possibly can with conversation on the forum, but please feel free to ask each other questions and to raise questions on the forum or raise conversations on the forum with each other. And that's about it. I will see you in 2 weeks back here on the video. Take care.